for the better somehow.
Good morning, farmers. All I got to say is it's about time. I've been sitting here advancing day by day, trying to find something to do for a video. And we're at August 2nd. What's that, about almost 2.5 weeks? I've had to advance, and finally I got some fields that are ready to harvest. I've had no plow jobs or cultivating jobs, anything interesting at all. The only thing I did since the last episode is I hired someone to seed that field, and while you seeded the field. Of course, you can see I painted the harvester. I brought the harvester back to get the correct color that we needed for eventually today. But that was like 2 weeks ago in game. But finally, something to do. I've been sitting here for like 45 minutes advancing day by day, just taking care of stuff on the farm and making sure I talk to the wife and taking care of the greenhouse and, you know, all the non-interesting stuff, if you will. But we got about 3 fields, I think, that could be ready for harvest. And probably the only thing I'm going to do today is harvest some fields. I do not plan on hiring any workers. This will give us time, since it's already August. I got 1 month to prepare these fields to be seeded. So, no rush. But eventually the fields up by the farm will be ready. So we have to prepare ourselves to make sure we leave ourselves time to do everything that we need to do. But for today, it's just nothing more than harvest some fields. And that would be probably it. At least we got a nice painted harvester. But if we get the fields done rather quickly, maybe I can run back to the farm and get the plow and we can start plowing. I might plow a field today, but I think by the time I finish harvesting the 3 fields I know of, it could be a pretty full day. I didn't check the weather though. No rain in the forecast. So yeah, I've been sitting here for like 45 minutes recording nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing. Just going around, you know, sleeping. Waking up at 6, checking the map, checking the fields, checking what jobs were available. You know, transport. I've been thinking about starting up with like a carrier service around here. Seems like we need a postal service or a UPS or a FedEx or something like that. Everyone has everyone else's package. And they all seem to be friends. My friend has it now. I basically could have made like one app that 45 minutes prior to. I could have made that a full video, just me just doing transport jobs and sleeping and checking field statuses. And I did harvest the greenhouse of pumpkins, and I kind of forgot about the greenhouse for a while. I think I may have went too long in between when they were ready and I picked them. Because I only got like 400 pumpkins, I think. But I don't really keep track of the greenhouse anymore like I used to. I mean, I've said this before, when you first start the game, every little dollar counts. So when you see the total of the greenhouse, like, oh, I only got like, 1,000 tomatoes this time. Last time I got 1,100. Oh, I'm not going to get as much money. Now it's just like, yeah, whatever. Not going to be too concerned about a couple hundred less pumpkins or whatever I'm supposed to get. But here we are today in our red harvester. Hey, look what we're harvesting peas. I know one of the lupine fields is ready. I can see that field just across the way is ready. I want to say that is peas as well. But now we're kind of getting into a little bit of a crunch time. Not too much yet. We just have to make sure all these fields that we do, we have prepped and ready for the beginning of September. We just have to keep in mind, if we do get in a crunch, we can only hire 4 workers at a time. But really, I don't see us having any issues. We don't own that many fields, and I think we'll have them pretty much prepared by then. Like I said, I don't want to hire workers to plow and cultivate these fields just yet, because they'll give us something to do for future episodes, instead of me skipping about 2 weeks because I had nothing to do. I've talked to the wife pretty recently, and no signs of her being pregnant at all. She hasn't said nothing, I'll just say that. As you've seen, every time I check her in bed, she looks like she's pregnant, but I would assume she's not. I do kind of like this red, if you want to call it a red. It's like a strawberry red, maybe. When I had the hired helper sow in that field over there, which may be something I could have done. I just didn't feel like planting some peas, but I said, well, I need a worker to do that. While he's doing that, I got a lot of moving things around and talked to the wife, and I have plenty enough to do while he sowed the field. And I fiddled with some colors on the harvester, and I said, I'll probably harvest in a couple days, so that's what I'll be doing. I know that couple days was actually a couple weeks. How big is this field? Oh, 1.54. Okay. I did make sure to wash the corn header before I put it away next to the chicken coop, because we're done using the corn header for the year. And you can still see I got my tractor down there where I parked it last time, which is next to the barn. And the wife's tractor with a cultivator on it is parked over there. But the next thing we'll need down here is a plow. And I may go back with my tractor to get the plow, because it could use a little bit of fuel. May actually fill up the harvester before I get done. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to. But it's a beautiful morning to be harvesting. Right now, I'm just glad I had something to do. I was starting to get not frustrated, but a little bored sitting here just sleeping over and over and checking things and not having anything to do. I'm like, well, this kind of sucks. I have yet to sleep. I never took the option to sleep 1 week in game. I'm afraid I might miss a good job or something like that. Alright, I think I'll actually, when I get to the end of this row, I'll pipe out. And we'll run over and get our tractor with a trailer. We'll fill her up to a point. Actually, I shouldn't say fill her up. We'll empty the combine, because that's what we're really mostly doing. Get a close-up of our feet. Turn the header back on. And we'll finish up the field, probably fill up the trailer, and we'll take a trip up, empty the trailer, and see if we can get some cash flow today. But in that 2-week span, I just can't believe I couldn't get it like a plow job or a cultivating job. All these farmers have stuff in their field, but they don't want it worked on apparently. I'm not losing no crop. I'm not harvesting anything. Making tight circles like that make you dizzy. Just saying. Probably don't have enough to fill the trailer, but we're going to empty the combine anyways. And there we go. Let's go park the combine up here. We'll take the trailer up to the sell point. I think this was P as well. Yeah, it is. But let's grab the tractor and head on up. And if worse comes to worse in these fields down here, I can always just hire workers to keep up with what we're doing if we fall behind. Because we do have a wheat and barley field to bale up as well at some point. But it's not a big field like 7.55 hectares. What's the trailer? 90%? Ooh, 86%. Hitting wrong buttons everywhere. Nope, reached 1.4 million. One of these days we'd be multi-millionaires. But I'm going to get started on the second pea field. I'll harvest that and probably bring it back when we get up to the lupine field, which will be after this one. So once again I have a change of plans because I fell for it again. Not that my harvester's almost full, but the lupine field that's quote-unquote ready to harvest is only 1% ready to harvest. Yeah, gotta stop hiring workers in the middle of the night and then let them finish sowing the next day because it screws up. Well, it screws me up, basically. So this field here is the last field I had to harvest today. So what we're going to do is after we sell this trailer full of peas, we'll take our tractor back to the farm, get the plow, and we're going to plow a field today. Like I said, we're going to have enough to do now, I think, until the end of the season. Give or take a day or two when we may skip. But that lupine field will be ready tomorrow, and there's no rain in the forecast so far. Let's finish up this field here, because it is only about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I should have time to plow one of these fields by the time I get to it. At least we got to see a red harvester for a day anyways. Tomorrow we'll be back to yellow. And I'm not driving it all the way back down to the farm to change colors. No thanks. There, she's empty. So we're going to park that right over here. Probably park it in that barn right there. But since it's not going to rain, it'll be fine right where it is. Yeah, and this tractor, it's still got 55% gas in, but since we're going all the way back to the farm, might as well gas up because it's going to be down here for a while plowing and hauling and who knows what else I'll be doing with it. Baling. And that lupine field right there is the one that I thought was ready. It's 1.05% ready, whatever, so. Yeah, I gotta stop hiring guys to seed the field at just before midnight, and then, yeah, throws me off. At least we got over 1.4 million today. I was actually thinking if we're going to hit the 2 million mark at the end of by the end of the season. We do have a lot of fields left to harvest one more time. So who knows? We're going to hit 410. We should. Oh, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to bring the trailer back and probably park it next to the harvester somewheres. And then I'll head down to the farm, pick up the plow, come all the way back, and we'll start plowing one or maybe both the fields. We'll see how time goes. So it's 20 after 2 in the afternoon. I gotta have a bite to eat here. We're gonna have a hamburger today. Oh yeah, we're mixing it up. But we need to start prepping these fields down here as well. So when September comes, we can start planting all of the fields with winter canola. Now, I haven't tried it in a while, but I remember my first season, this is going back months ago, I would say it probably happened sometime around Christmas when I did it. But I was planting a whole bunch of stuff because I thought the seasons went until at least October. So I had corns, peas, and whatnot in all the fields, and yeah, the end of September came and it was April, but all the crops went through the season, so I didn't lose any crops during the winter. It's just that now I do canola because canola through the winter along with wheat produce so much more yield than anything else. But I don't know if they changed or fixed that or anything like that, so do keep that in mind that if you want to try it, you can. I don't know if that still works or not. But we'll see if we can get both these fields plowed this afternoon. If not, it's no biggie. And I forgot to fuel the tractor. I had one job to do. One job, and you couldn't do it. Need to fire myself. I'm hearing voices. Well, I'm thinking at this point that once I finish plowing this field, I probably am going to call it a day. It's getting to be past 5 o'clock in the evening, and if I try to start anything else now, it's going to push me into the darkness hours, I do believe. But at least we'll have harvested a couple fields. We got the plow down here now. And we'll have this field already plowed. Tomorrow, obviously, that lupine field will be ready to be harvested. Well, we can cultivate this field here. I got to plow that field over there, and then I'll have that lupine field to plow and cultivate as well. Probably won't get that all done in one day. But we can spread out this work for the next month or so. The only thing I do have to keep in mind is that big field that we can't hire work for. That will take me, let's see, 1 day to harvest, 1 day to plow, 1 day to cultivate, 1 day to seed. So that's a 4-day project. So I have to keep in mind that I do have a field that's going to take up 4 days entirely by itself. But that's not going to be until mid-September. And what I might do when September comes, I'll just hire like 4 workers to start seeding fields down here, and we can knock them off pretty quick, I would think. As long as well, we can hire workers in the rain, so I won't be hiring anyone to harvest, so I don't have to worry about the rain too much. So I'm hoping when I get done plowing this next section one more time up, we can get to, it's usually 98, but sometimes it'll creep up to 99. I've done a pretty good job at getting most of the field, so maybe 99%. We'll see shortly. And yeah, we got over 1.4 million today on the bank account. %. We're going to call that good. We'll come right over here, park the tractor here, because I may start by plowing the field tomorrow. That way I can get out of the tractor with the scaffolding in my hand. But that way we'll plow first thing in the morning. That way it gives the crops a good chance to dry up over there before we start harvesting. But even the fields that we just harvested in the previous episode, yeah, you can see the outside of the field is ready to harvest. The inside is not, but the fields that we just did in the last episode, that's already grown as well, because like I said, I had advanced like 2 weeks to get to where we are now. But I'm actually thinking this field will be ready tomorrow. Is this 1 or 2 fields here? Oh, this looks bigger than that. So I'm thinking this field would be ready, this field would be ready, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if these 2 fields are ready. What's this field? Soy. So these 3, I may have 5 fields ready for harvest tomorrow, but like we said, no rush. I think these fields won't start being ready until the 1st of the next month, or late in August. But yeah, we just have to keep a close eye on the calendar. Make sure we stay ahead of everything like we need to be. If I start falling behind, yeah, we can always hire some help down here.
Could have got an extra half hour in bed. And I'm not really in the mood today.
Oh, you're not?
Promises, promises. But do they deliver? I don't think so.
One thing I've noticed about the people in this town, a lot of negative talk.
Be all different.
They either have a headache.
Always late, never on time.
Yeah, always late, never in time, complaining again. Nothing ever changes. I woke up with a headache. A lot of negative thoughts from the people in this town.
No surprise.
Yeah.
You can't be sure about that.
So everything needs to stay here, obviously, because we need it all. Yeah, I had jobs up here: transport, transport, and transport. Let's head back to the farm. Looks like the wife is in the front yard pulling up weeds again. Yeah, there's the corn header all washed up and put away until at least next year. How's this doing? So I can almost fill up the tanker. I'm going to have to do that relatively soon. This storage area does hold 50,000, so I got time. And as we can see in the greenhouse, the pumpkins have grown to their first growth stage, I do believe. And so has the grass in the yard again. But I don't think I'll be mowing the grass again this year, because say the grass is really tall, you mow it September 31st, you skip to the spring, and boom, the grass is just tall again. But maybe, since I haven't gone through a winter when they did the last update, so maybe the grass won't do that in the springtime. But we'll see in maybe about another 15, 16 episodes before we get that far, I think. Like I said, I talked to her just recently, so she's doing a fine job. I like how she just shoves that shovel up her back and just disappears. But guys, that's going to do it for today. Like always, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully it was entertaining for you. Can I... Nah, I don't like that view. Dang it. So, like I said, I appreciate you watching. And I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one.